Is insanely strong. Like he's got that sort of elite grappling strength that comes from decades of throwing human bodies around.
He's so fucking strong, man. There's like something about those Dagestan guys, man. Like the discipline those motherfuckers have.
Yeah.
You know, there's Dagestan guys that are making their way into Muay Thai.
UFC 330 is closing in fast, and now Joe Rogan has pulled back the curtain on what makes Islam Makhachev such a terrifying force inside the cage. It looks like years of relentless wrestling, endless grinding sessions, and unmatched dedication have forged a weapon unlike almost anyone else in the sport. Rogan describes Makhachev as a world-class submission predator, warning that his ruthless ability to finish opponents is exactly what separates him from nearly every fighter standing in his path.
Insanely strong. Like he's got that sort of elite grappling strength that comes from decades of throwing human bodies around.
Yeah.
There's a thing about that. Like here, his Demetrius Johnson says, I felt it. I know. Fucking Max Holloway just texted me. How strong is that Darce? Like that's a sick Darce. Islam is elite.
Yeah.
He's elite when it comes to
Taking the conversation even further, Rogan suggests the most shocking part isn't just Islam Makhachev's success, but how effortlessly he appears to have conquered the welterweight division. It looks like every recent performance has only strengthened the belief that the jump in weight has barely slowed him down. Insiders say a statement victory over Ian Machado Gary could push his legacy into an entirely different category, placing his name even closer to the greatest fighters the sport has ever witnessed.
Makhachev. Dude goes up one weight class, goes up to 170. He was the 55-pound most dominant champion ever, most title defenses at 55 ever. Just dominates at 170. Like every round. People are saying it's boring, but listen, man, it's boring if you're a casual. The fact that he was able to do it every round, it was a little frustrating because you wanted Jack to try to adjust, but he couldn't, man. Islam shut his game down right away. He low kick front leg real quick, had him limping real quick. Like within the first round, he had hit it 3 or 4.
Rogan then points to another hidden weapon in Islam Makhachev's arsenal, revealing a subtle adjustment that many fans completely overlook. According to his breakdown, Makhachev secures the Darce choke by clasping his own wrist instead of relying on the conventional bicep grip. It looks like that small technical change generates even greater pressure when reach or body position becomes a factor, turning an already dangerous submission into one of the most devastating finishing tools in his entire grappling game.
One of the things you see about Islam, he's a very unique way of doing the Darce, is Islam grabs his own wrist like this to finish it.
Yeah.
Whereas other guys go all the way down to the bicep. And the thing about grabbing the wrists like that that's really good is you can make it a little bit tighter in a situation where you can't, like some guys, they have too much bulk and maybe your arms are too short.
Yeah.
You can't get like having long arms is really important for a Darce. Like John Jones must have a wicked Darce because you can get the arms all the way through. If they're long, then you can cinch it up. But Islam cinches it up actually by grabbing a hold of his wrist. And so it gives you extra space, and the grip that he uses is...
The focus then shifts beyond the octagon, where Makhachev reveals what many believe is the real foundation behind his team's dominance. It looks like their reputation wasn't built through victories alone, but through an uncompromising level of discipline long before fight night ever arrives. He describes a lifestyle centered on eliminating distractions, embracing sacrifice, and remaining completely locked into training, a mindset that insiders say continues to separate his camp from nearly everyone else in the sport.
Young kids look it for the Habib, look it for our team, you know, and we never go party, we never go somewhere, we never smoke, drink, do some bad things, you know, and that's why we have big support in our country. And I also try to show like MMA fighter, try to show like real Muslims, you know, who is the not smoking, not do this.
Our Rogan takes the conversation even deeper, arguing that the overwhelming success of Dagestani fighters is no accident, but the result of a relentless system forged over decades. It looks like non-stop wrestling, uncompromising discipline, and world-class training environments have created a formula few camps can replicate. According to Rogan, that culture develops competitors with an unbreakable mentality and level of resilience that most fighters spend an entire career trying and often failing to achieve.
Those dudes are really rolling out there. That's how they're really living. They pray 5 times a day. They're super religious. There's no gambling. There's no drinking. There's no partying. There's just training. Just training and training with a bunch of animals. Eating together, training together, just getting after it every day. And then it's iron sharpens iron because everyone who comes out of there is killer.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, you got to be real.
Most people don't want to live that life.
Yeah, and they don't forgive the disrespect.
No,
I forget that sometimes. Like the people that are like ultra competitive.
Totally different kinds of human beings, man.
It doesn't go away.
Their drive it's like, you don't understand.
That same belief is reinforced by Khabib Nurmagomedov, who suggests the unforgiving conditions and demanding upbringing in Dagestan shape a level of determination that few athletes can truly understand. It looks like every challenge faced outside the cage becomes part of the foundation built inside it. He insists that relentless discipline, mental toughness, and unwavering commitment ultimately outweigh raw talent, creating champions who refuse to break when the pressure reaches its highest point.
Location, Dagestan location, last 1,000 years in Dagestan all the time was war. And that's why people is so tough. If you talk about us, like fighters, you can watch anybody who's very good fighter from Dagestan, but they all come from poor life and they all was very hungry. For example, like Islam, myself, Ankalaev, they all was very poor. They don't even have food. When you have good coaches, good system, and you have hungry, very powerful young generation, to become fighter is like you don't need to be special.
Rogan pushes the debate even further, suggesting that Islam Makhachev could be the more technically polished fighter when compared with Khabib Nurmagomedov. It looks like his evolution on the feet has completely changed the conversation, with insiders pointing to his stunning head kick finish over Alexander Volkanovski as the moment that convinced many he had reached another level. If that trajectory continues, the debate over who stands above the other may only become even more explosive.
Without a doubt, one of the all-time greats, one of the greatest to ever do it. But the difference between Khabib and Islam is elite stand-up wise. Like Khabib was very good stand-up, but Islam knocked out Volkanovski with a head kick. You know, that's not in Khabib's repertoire. Islam is on another level. It's like one more level above. He can knock you out standing. He can knock you out on the ground. He can submit you. He can take you down. He's fucking huge for the weight class, especially 155. It's like there's so many aspects, and you're always thinking about that grappling.
Islam Makhachev has also looked back on the earliest chapter of his MMA career, revealing that he placed absolute faith in Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov long before championship glory seemed anywhere within reach. It looks like that unwavering trust became the foundation of everything that followed. He credits Abdulmanap's relentless focus on patience, discipline, and steady long-term growth for shaping his entire mentality, saying those lessons kept him fully committed to training even as challenges outside the gym threatened to pull his attention away.
I did everything what he said. I listened him because I believe him. He is the guy who believed me first, you know. When I was young, when I'm not thinking about UFC belt, he told me, do same things, be patient, and one day it's coming, you know, you will be champion, you know. And I don't believe other people. I believe him, you know. I start to training more, start to spend more time in the gym. When I have some problem outside, when I have to go to fix some problem, he say, hey, go to the gym. I will do it for you. And he helped me a lot, you know, and I always say, thanks God, thanks Abdulmanap to his doing for me.
The reigning welterweight champion believes the unwavering support surrounding his team comes from a way of life rooted in discipline, sacrifice, and complete self-control. Inspired by Khabib Nurmagomedov's philosophy, he stays away from parties, alcohol, and anything that could derail his focus. It looks like that relentless commitment to strict values has earned deep respect from those around him, while insiders say the same mindset continues to fuel lasting success and keep him operating at the highest level of the sport.
Young kids look it for the Khabib, look it for our team, you know, and we never go party, we never go somewhere, we never smoke, drink, do some bad things, you know, and that's why we have big support in our country. And I also try to show like try to show like MMA fighter, try to show like real Muslims, you know, who is the not smoking, not do this all.
Adding even more fuel to the discussion, Don Fry argues that the Dagestani approach has evolved into one of the most dominant systems the sport has ever seen. It looks like, in his view, results speak louder than personal preferences or debates about entertainment value. He believes that when a style consistently overwhelms elite opponents, its effectiveness becomes impossible to ignore, no matter how divided fans may be over the way those victories are achieved.
Think about that fighting style in general. A lot of people have come in from that region with similar style from Dagestan or maybe, Chechnya and that sort of area.
Well, whether you enjoy watching it or not, too bad, and it's superior to every other style out there, but at one time it was the Gracies. Then I went to the Lions Den, Then I went to Severn's people, Severn and myself, and then I went to somebody else,
On the opposite side of the conversation, Daniel Cormier shares a first-hand story that reveals just how overwhelming Islam Makhachev's physical strength truly is. It looks like he walked into a live grappling session expecting to move Makhachev around without much trouble, but the reality was completely different. No matter how hard he pushed, Islam stayed firmly rooted and refused to give up an inch. As the rounds intensified, Cormier was forced to raise his effort to another level, yet Makhachev remained calm, technically flawless, and completely in control. According to Cormier, it wasn't until he was giving everything he had that he fully realized the extraordinary strength, balance, and pressure Islam brings into every exchange.
We're in practice, and I'm going with Khabib or Islam, and I'm the big guy. So generally, a smaller guy gets on top of you. When you decide it's over, you just throw him off you. Yep. No technique, no skills. You just literally grab him, and you kind of throw him off you. I'm grappling with Islam once, and I try to throw him off of me. But he's still there. And so then I give him a little harder shove, and he's still there. Next thing you know, I'm grappling at 100% because the dude's that strong. But again, I had never really grappled with him in that way, like at a decent pace. So I didn't recognize the strength when he was trying to...
Adding even more weight to that growing reputation, Belal Muhammad places Islam Makhachev firmly among the absolute elite of the sport, pointing to the remarkable consistency he has displayed against the toughest competition available. It looks like every major victory has only strengthened the belief that his dominance is far from fading. Muhammad argues that Makhachev has successfully carried forward the championship legacy established by Khabib Nurmagomedov, continuing to silence elite opponents with one statement performance after another while showing virtually no signs of slowing down.
Maybe he wakes us all up and says, okay, this is why this guy is different. And in the process, breaks the record, becomes the first guy in UFC history to win 17 straight fights. Like no one has made it beyond this point ever. So like he is trying to do something unprecedented here. And we see, time and time again, these guys get to the cusp of this stuff and then they fall. So like I'm bracing myself for an Ian Gary victory already, but is